Hello there. So there are different phases when you're building an impact making business, and each has its own lessons to learn and things to master so you can fully move to the next phase. And what's interesting is when you are fully embodied of the lesson, so you know and have mastered these challenges, it changes the way you do business going forward because you can fully move into the next phase and you can fully move into the next phase. So you're able to grow with the business. And throughout this video, we'll talk about the challenges and lessons of the second phase and how to master that so you can move to the third. So I'm Amelia Harshfield. So phase one starts when you're wanting to create change and build a business doing that, but you don't know how. So you spend time looking that up, figuring out what to do. And it ends when you pick a direction and start building it. So phase two starts when you start to build, and then some people move fully into phase three. Phase two doesn't really affect them. But phase two for most people is when you realize that it's really not as you expected. So it's harder than you thought it was going to be. You don't get the results in a way that you thought you were going to be getting them, and things just aren't quite as easy as you thought it was going to be. And phase two is very much determined by, yes, building business isn't quite as easy as you thought it was going to be, but at the same time, there are ways that you're contributing to this that if you think that you are the failure, if you think that you're not good enough, and I can go on and on and on with imposter syndrome and all the ways that we make the results that we're not getting about us and about our worth, is to understand that that's just the sign that you're in the second phase of business. So you're making it about you rather than understanding that this is something going on with the business and there's just something to pivot and shift there and something to learn. So a lot of people think that things are never going to change for them when they get into the second phase of business. It's like, I'm not valuable. Stuff isn't going to ever change. I'm never going to get out of this. Or they can get into where they are making a lot of money and they're still questioning their worth, still wondering, am I good enough for this? And a lot of people go through this. So if you're in the space, it's normal to be in this space. I was in the space for years. So it's really easy to get stuck here and feel like you don't have a lot of options, and then you're trying and then you just don't see the results. And that's deflating. It just means that you're just in the second phase of the business. And the major lesson to learn, there's literally nothing about you with this business. It's just you are interpreting it that way because you don't know how, and there's reasons why you're doing that. And those are the lessons to learn in the second phase of the business. You can get to the third phase, which is when you start actually looking at the business and understanding what's going on. When you fully stop realizing this isn't about you, things change massively with that. And that's when you start getting results. You just can't do that when you're getting the second phase of the business. So your major focus is to get yourself out of the second phase. Know that there's nothing wrong with you. Understand that, yes, just because you're in this doesn't mean that there's no hope. Doesn't mean your business is not going to work. Doesn't mean you should quit. It just means that you're in the second phase. So keep going, keep pushing through. And if you need help with that, I've got some options for you on my website, because my goal is to have people not fall off during the second phase. It's really easy to quit and think that it's about you when it's not. So my goal is to keep people going and keep going and changing, because the world needs more people who are changing the world. So that is part of the change that I want to see in the world. So because I want to get you to phase three so you can keep changing and actually start getting the results that you need to get and think about the business differently. So that's phase two of the business. I love questions or any comments. Drop those below. Happy to respond to them, and I will see you on the next video.